Hello, everyone. Aidan Michaels here. Alongside me, as always, is Jack Weisberg. We are depressed. It's been a brutal last few days for LA sports. Lakers have lost twice. Kings have now lost twice. Uh, so, welcome to our post-game thoughts for Game 4 of round one between the Kings and the Oilers. The Kings had a 2-0 series lead. They now go back to Los Angeles for game five with the series tied at two. A quick recap of just how things ended here. The Kings had a 3-1 lead going into the third period, and it was 3-2 Oilers. And then Quentin Byfield had a chance to clear it and essentially run out the time to give Kings the win. Unfortunately, with 28 seconds left, he couldn't do so, and Bouchard scored again to tie the game up, and then in overtime, the Oilers won it. Jack, your thoughts, as always.
I mean, we just look back to like what our keys of the game were, right? What were they? We're gonna have the lead. We know that that's gonna happen, right? It's a matter of keeping our foot on the gas. And I mean, you were texting throughout the whole game to that point, and that's clearly not what was happening. And it seemed inevitable, uh, even in just the first 5 minutes of that third period, that they were gonna get one. Right? They got one, and you just knew what was gonna happen. I'm not saying that in hindsight, in the moment, I knew it. It was clear that Edmonton was on a roll, and that we weren't playing offense. We did exactly what I said in the last video. Our offense was, oh, let's get to the red line, let's switch, let's get some fresh legs out there and play some hard defense. No, no. I'm grieving.
Yeah, I mean, it is exactly what I was just going to make this point. Exactly what you said in that video, because we filmed that video, didn't we? The night before, or that night of the game. So, we filmed it a little late. So that game started probably a couple hours later. And you said, don't sit back. If we have a lead, don't sit back and do this like we have in all three of these games. And here we go in game four. We did exactly that. It was 40 minutes of really great hockey from the Kings. And then the third period and overtime were embarrassing. Third period, we were not playing to win. We hit one post, which by the way was Kevin Fiala on a 2-on-1 hit the post, chance to, I mean, essentially that ices the game there. Wasn't able to do it. Obviously, it's not his fault. He had a goal that night, but also hit the post twice. Didn't do that, and the Kings were dumping and chasing and dumping and chasing and playing defense and switching, getting fresh legs out, like you said. And it's just not the way you want to play. And then, of course, classic Kings give up the two goals, tied at three, and then that overtime. I was telling my friend that I was watching the game with, I said, listen, we are dead to a lucky bounce. That is the only way the Kings can win this game is if we get a lucky bounce. The only decent chance the Kings had on goal in overtime was from a lucky bounce, and it wasn't even that great of a chance. It is probably the worst period of hockey I've seen from the Kings in a very, very long time, certainly in this series. And I texted my grandmother after the game and I said, yeah, we deserve to lose that game. And she made a good point, which is every time you lose a game, there's always, you always deserve to lose the game when you lose the game. That's always true to a certain degree. But just with how that third period went and how that overtime went, I couldn't even be mad that we lost. I was like, you know what? It makes sense. We are going to lose this game, and we did. Uh, and that's that. And it's a shame. But now we get to go home and play in an arena that we are so good in. Obviously, set the franchise record this year for most wins at crypto.com arena slash Staples Center. And it's a must win, Jack. I know we said the last game was a must win. This is seriously a must win because if we lose in LA tomorrow night, going to Edmonton for game six to try and force a game seven, I can't see that happening. So to me, I'm sure you feel the same. It's a must win tomorrow, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Edmonton down 2-3 is just not an option. So uh it, you really gotta really got to play Kings home ice hockey here. And we've seen that from them throughout the series, in the two games we've had at home, but this is a big one, Aiden.
It really is. And I know there's no point in us talking about what could have happened that could have won us the game. Obviously, the one that sticks out is Quentin Byfield just needs to dump it out. I know he may have it almost seemed like a good idea at the time because we had this issue a couple games ago. I think it was game one where they were just icing the puck trying to go for the goal. So he had a decent idea of the last few chances were Kings just icing the puck, being tired. He had the right idea to, hey, hang on to it for a little more, try and chip it out. Hung on to it just for too long and of course gave up the goal. And it's so difficult for me to talk anything bad about Quentin Byfield because he's been the Kings' best player uh, in the regular season in the last couple months, and then obviously not in the playoffs. Been outshined by Kempe and Kuzmenko and Kopitar, all those guys. But he's been so good for us this year, and I hate to say anything bad, but that was a ruiner. It killed the momentum. It killed the game for us. And now, like I said, we got to go to LA with the series tied when we were up 2-0. I mean, this should really be a 3-1 series right now, and that's a shame. But I know we said we were going to keep this video quick, so I'm just going to ask you your final thoughts on the game and perhaps some words of encouragement for tomorrow night.
I mean, we need to start fast and more importantly, finish faster. Um, I mean, we got the players to do it. We know that we do. Uh, Man, sounding like a Kings player right now with all these we's, but
Yeah,
I really did feel that loss.
yeah. I mean, all Kings fans did. And before we wrap up here, I don't know if you saw the post-game interview with Coach Hiller, but a reporter, I think I may have sent it. I don't know if you had a chance to look, but I sent it in the group chat with our dads, and a reporter was asks the same question that we're all thinking, which is why sit back when you're up in the third period? Why is that the game plan? And Jim Hiller just looks at the reporter and just says, he gets all frustrated, says, next question. And then you can hear him. I think they took the mic away, but you can hear the same reporter say, it's been like this for the last 3 games. So he doesn't, and Jim Miller doesn't answer it. I get as a coach, it may sound like a silly question because of course they're trying to win, but it's like that's the question that every single Kings fan wants the answer to that question. Why are we sitting back? If you look at the video that we just did for last game, we were having the same conversation. I was giving the same rant. Why are we sitting back at this point? It is unbelievable. That's exactly what we talked about in the last video, saying don't do that, and it's exactly what happened. So that reporter was trying to get the answers. Jim Hiller doesn't have an answer. He didn't have an answer as to why he challenged that Evander Kane goal in game three. It's hard for me to say that he's not NHL ready because he had a phenomenal regular season for his first full year as head coach, but the playoffs are not working for him right now. It is very hard to watch as a Kings fan, and the season can be thrown away with all these mistakes that we're making. So I guess we'll see. But Jack, again, as I said in the last video, we hope that in our next video we will have something more to smile about. Obviously, the Lakers are down 3-1 right now. The Kings are in a very difficult position, even though it's 2-2. But we will see. The Kings will play probably when I post this video. It would be tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time. The winner of that game will have a chance to close out the series in game six in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. But we will see. As for Jack Weisberg, my name's Aiden Michaels. Kings lose this tough one in overtime. We'll be back for game five.